Well, hello, welcome to Tarot to a T. We just had a bunch of cards come out. I don't even know who I'm reading for yet. I kind of make that up in the next few seconds after I introduce the video, so that's kind of strange. Anyway, as I was saying, before I was interrupted, this is Tarot to a T, and I'm working on August 2022 readings. And today, I'm feeling that we're going to do a reading for Capricorn. Let me put this away. I have to put that away. Capricorn. If you didn't join me in July, I am doing a different layout. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. But I started a new layout in July, and I'm kind of liking it, so I'm sticking with that for now, just to kind of let you know. If you've run across me before, it might look a little different. I think we have a lot to say to Capricorn for August, because these cards are just wild, man. Just wild. Look at this. I literally do get a sense when I shuffle the cards. Sometimes it's just smooth like butter, and sometimes it's just crazy all over the place. So, what can you tell us about Capricorn in August 2022? What do we need to know? What do we need to tell the Capricorn? What do we need to help the Capricorn decide or go through? Couple more, and then we will ask for cards of advice. Respectfully, thank you, and please. Okay. Yeah, I definitely started off this video a little different, but I'm liking it. Changing things up. Okay, cards of advice. We're ready. Okay, yeah, those are coming right out. 1, 2, 3, and how about 4? 4. Please and thank you. Okay, let's get started. Capricorn needs to know. Capricorn can't wait. You got 2 kings. Holy mackerel. Major dominant energy could be male, could be opposing energies, because we have a heart and we have a spade. It's both very authoritarian, very dominant. They both have their strengths, honestly. The only thing about the King of Spades is we're looking at a little bit of a person that causes problems in a relationship, potentially, whereas the King of Hearts is more loving, fatherly energy, okay? But let's reveal what else we have here. We have the 8 of Clubs, nice. We have the black and white Joker. And we have the 8 of Diamonds. This is very interesting. Look how this came out. 2 8s, 2 kings, and the Joker. 8s are about moving ahead, whereas kings are about authority, dominance. I like when they pertain to the sign I'm reading for, I like to see that as taking control of a situation, but you have 2 of them here. I don't know if that means you have conflicting energies around this control, or you have 2 people, 2 sides of of another person, or 2 people even. But the 8 of Diamonds looks like you're moving ahead in your finances very, very swiftly here. This is about hard work paying off, investments on return. I said that backwards. Return on investments. You know, a solid financial future, abundance. Honestly, it's about entrepreneurship. It's about going off on your own in some way, even if that means taking control of a position or job that you are employed by a company. That doesn't mean that you're not taking certain control within that position. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen it happen before where people just kind of got into a rut and when they really thought about what they wanted to do and started to take the job more seriously, for example, or started to network with the right people, things changed very quickly for them in a good way. The Eight of Clubs, interestingly enough, is about having some kind of crossroads decision, but it's also about being fixed on ideas. Maybe you're a little bit stuck on how things should be going for you, and you're having a little bit of turbulence with this. I had to look at it. Black and white Joker. There's a colored Joker too. I just couldn't see it in this light. This is also the Fool card in the traditional tarot deck. So this is a little bit of telling me that you're being a little naive and you're kind of in the dark about something pertaining to this. It's also a very stirred up energy. Things really shifting around rapidly, unexpectedly, probably going on. So on one hand we have hard work paying off, and the other hand we have kind of being stuck, but also potentially some kind of T in the road. You know, that to me is like a crossroads decision, and you feeling maybe a little stuck on where things need to go, how things need to be. And then we have conflicting dominant king energy. You know what I just got out of this? I feel like this is all about you being overly controlling about your destiny here. Because the Eight of Clubs is also about the fixed mind, the stubbornness. Again, having this idyllic vision of how things should turn out. And this king energy being so conflicting, that would totally resonate with kind of what I was saying about, you know, I actually had another reading recently where I kind of went into this, okay? So when we have fixed ideas about how things are supposed to be, we're cutting off ourselves from potential experiences, reality, what have you. So let's say the universe has another plan for you and you're stuck on another idea. So you've essentially, what you've done is you block that energy. It can't come through. It can't happen. It can't unfold because of your mental attitude, honestly, your mindset. Because the King of Spades, again, while it has authority and some wisdom and a certain amount of power, the King of Spades causes problems, whereas the King of Hearts is about loving, nurturing, very fatherly energy, ability to gently guide you in a certain direction. So maybe you have these two conflicting energies going on. I honestly don't see this as two people. I just see this as kind of representing your dualistic energy right now, Capricorn. It's just like, it's kind of wild. You definitely have some very fixed ideas. Very fixed ideas about how things should be going. And I suspect they're not going the way that you envision them. What else can we tell Capricorn, please, before we move on to the... Okay. Queen of Spades. Really didn't want to see her here. If you heard me talk about this energy before, this is female energy, or it's just... It can represent a person. The thing about her is she doesn't show the world or other people exactly what's going through her head. So she kind of has a hidden dark side to her. She could also be up to no good, honestly. A little manipulative, that kind of thing. It's just that nobody knows what she's thinking, and she's kind of intentionally pulling back and being reserved. So perhaps you're not showing the world this kind of inner turmoil that you are experiencing in August. This indecision or whatever. I mean, it's being caught at a crossroads, but I also see it as indecision, especially with the dual kings here. I really feel like you're being pulled in two different directions internally. Yes, and you're embarking on a new start here with something that's going to end some kind of inner conflict. Could be outer, but I'm hearing inner conflict. And it is going to be aligned with more what you're desiring in some way. I still don't see exactly what is involved here. I'm not seeing relationship. I'm not really seeing career, except I did see 8 of Diamonds. I mean, that's hard work paying off could mean a lot of different things. A lot of different things. So I'm not seeing how this new start is exactly going to materialize. You possibly know what that is, so you take that if it fits, of course. What else can you tell Capricorn? I feel like there's more. There's a lot to this story. 4 of Hearts. There's something to do with your balance and stability here. This is actually a good sign. It's about family and friends and feeling connected to kind of a family unit. Something that represents that. Feeling safe. The new start came out on the Queen of Spades, and the 4 of Hearts just came out on this new start. So quite literally that could mean that the new start has to do with family connections, starting over maybe a relationship or a connection to somebody or a group that's going to help you feel more connected. But on the other hand, with the Queen of Spades, you're holding back something. There's something that's not being revealed. Because this is inner conflict. It's kind of clear to me now that that's you, and there's a lot of inner conflict for some reason. And it's all about control issues. I think you're feeling out of control in some aspects of your life. Not out of control like you're crazy. Just there's some circumstance that you cannot control. And I think it's kind of driving you batty. Because you feel like you're stuck on an ideal and you have no way of bringing about that ideal into reality. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. And this Joker energy here is just about things just... It's full energy too, but things just kind of pulling you in directions. Again, it's the shifting and moving, swirling around. That's like pulling you in some kind of direction that I feel like you're just like, I don't really want this. This is not exactly my ideal. Again, but you had to kind of decide to go along with it. That's the crossroads, I think, because you were torn. Anyway, I don't want to keep repeating on that subject, but I had to kind of clarify it myself before I looked at this advice. So the 2 of Spades, some kind of division with somebody or something. The 6 of Spades, this was destined. This is part of opening up new opportunities in your life because it's part of your destiny, your fate, your life script, however you want to put it. And it's bringing about some kind of separation. This is the change that is going to happen or needs to happen. I think it has happened or will happen. Let's put it that way. if it hasn't happened already, because this is about disharmony and being cut off, usually from a person. I mean, it could represent something else, like you're cut off from, I don't know, some kind of corporation that you work for, a company. Yeah, but I didn't see anything in here about career, except this entrepreneurship card. But I didn't like see stress at work. I didn't see any of those dynamics, or working too hard. There are cards that represent that, and none of those came out. Five of Clubs. Again, you have changes that are going to happen as a result of everything that's transpiring here with the internal conflict. You kind of going along with a new start of some sort that's actually going to make you feel very secure, but it's not really what your heart desires because of the fixed idea energy, right? But with the Five of Clubs, you're looking at something had to change. There was a very, very urgent need for something to change. And it usually has to do with your living style, situation, your lifestyle. It can mean like things were stuck in a certain pattern, and that pattern needed to be broken, for example. But like the need for renovation, the need to mix things up. This is a very curious reading, Capricorn. I'm not gonna lie. It's all about This advice is all about separation and division and getting away from something, and it being long overdue. Because this Five of Hearts, like I said, is literally the card of separation. It's almost like this. I'm going back to the family unit and the new start, and it making things very cozy and secure for you down here. It's almost like that needs to you need to walk away from that. That's why you kind of have this Queen of Spades energy behind it, of not really talking about the inner or expressing the inner conflict you're having over these two kings. And this crossroads decision, you could have really felt like you were at a dead end and you really had no other choice. Because crossroads decisions, that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like, wow, I'm at a dead end. I have to go one way or the other, and both of them are not perfect. So then you're kind of forced to go in a particular direction, right? Let's see what else advice we can get out for Capricorn. Jack of Hearts. So this is not something that you are particularly experienced at. I don't think you've quite ever been in this position. The Jack of Hearts also talks about, in some contexts, partnership. But it's Jack energy, so it's young, it's inexperienced. It could be an element of immaturity in that sense. Not that you are being immature. If the separation is tied up with that Jack energy, it's almost like, I see it two ways. One is if you separate and you go along with the flow of this change, it's going to put you in this realm of emotion that you're not familiar with. It's almost, that's where the immaturity comes from, because it's like it's going to propel you into an area or a headspace or an emotional state that you're not real comfortable with and you're not experienced with. But it's almost like that's what needs to happen here. Let's see if we can get more cards of advice before I solidify it and say that's exactly what it means. Queen of Hearts. This came out with the Jack of Hearts. This always means, and cartomancy, and believe me, this does not come out that often, but as legend has it, this always means a significant partnership, like you are going to meet with somebody. It could be somebody you already know. This is like romance, buku romance. This is like for sure there is a romantic relationship wrapped up in this in some manner. Very interesting that it came up, that strong of an energy came up with separation, division, and disharmony from somebody. It's almost exactly the opposite. I honestly don't know what this is saying. It's just got very, very strong opposite energies. I mean, if you could just look at it as this is your inner turmoil and your inner conflict, so all of this is going to reflect that. Because this right here, that really threw me for a loop. I was really expecting another card to kind of clarify a path of advice, but with this, it could actually, this has dawned on me, could mean that you need to make these changes, completely separate, and it needs to, you need to make these changes, overdue changes, right? We talked about that card. Completely separate from this partnership, and this is what it's going to bring you. The only thing that's throwing me off about that is this is at the beginning of the advice line. I tend to read it from left to right, with right being kind of where you're going to end up. I don't think you're going to end up in a need for change. I mean, it could be that you're looking at this new start we talked about down here. Sorry, I picked up the wrong cards. The new start, feeling safe and secure, back connected to a family unit of some sort. You have all this conflicting energy, right? Very strong energy. And this is what it basically means. You're back wrapped up in intimate relationship in some form. The line of advice is going down the road of division, separation. This is destiny. And this is a change that needs to happen. Actually, that would be the literal way to read this line of advice, which is not a great message. It's like it's going, I mean, it's kind of going against what you've decided to do down here with the new start. But on the other hand, it may be giving you the answer to this crossroads decision. Like if you were wondering if you should get back involved with this person or run for the hills, I think it's basically saying you need to leave it. You need to leave it behind. Or you're going to repeat the same patterns, or you're not going to live out your destiny, because again we have the Six of Spades. And that's the Destiny Fate card. Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there because it's getting thick. It's getting thick. It's like there's some messages in here that I'm probably not picking up directly, but I think you kind of got the gist of what I was trying to say about all this conflict and turmoil, and kind of feeling like you were forced to make a decision that you're not completely probably satisfied with, but you did it anyway. And the advice is here that you need to completely change this direction. Completely change again. Change needs to occur again. That's kind of what I'm hearing. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helped. If you liked the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see what happens for mid-August, I will be coming out with videos in a couple of weeks. Might pick up from here, you never know. Might give us some more information. But go ahead and hit subscribe and notifications if you want to be notified when that comes out, okay? And until I see you again, take care.